Today we're back. Here I show you some apartment buildings. These are called luxurious apartments, and the prices are not too cheap. These ones are in District 7, so we are still going in District 7. Mind you that if you move to District 1 or District 2, it will be more expensive, just like in basically every other city. If you're in LA, if you go to Bel Air, if you go to Malibu, it will be very expensive areas. Here in Ho Chi Minh, District 1 and District 2 are two more of the expensive areas. Here we have a lot of apartment buildings. This is, like I said, just in District 7. More space between the buildings, less traffic, less people, more quiet, and have many international schools. So a lot of people live out here, but District 2 is basically the other good area to live in with children, because that too have a lot of schools and facilities that expats and foreigners would like. Now, an apartment complex like this can be everything from 2 buildings to 7 buildings, or maybe even more. They usually have swimming pool. It could be on the roof. It could be like on the 7th or 5th floor. It could be down on the ground. They usually have shops at the like street level, so you take the elevator down and you have shops there, pharmacies and so on, security cameras. So it is quite decent living. Now in Ho Chi Minh, I've been here for a little, not long. I'm quite new here, but from what I read in the news, it's basically been effect here in Vietnam from the war in Europe and stuff. So the economy fall down in Europe because of the war, also in America and Canada, and that hit Australia and Asia as well. So all those people that have loan on these apartments, they the ones that actually have took a loan to buy the apartment, they struggle, and now they some of them actually are forced to sell. If not, the bank will take them. The banks are after quite a few people, and I have seen in the news and close to where I live and on internet, Bat Dong Sang, where you look for apartments and stuff, that some apartments actually get scroll down the price with 600-700 million dong. So that tells me the market is maybe a little overpriced. Of course, everybody wants as much money as they can get, but in the end, it is the buyer that decide how much they think that apartment is worth and how much they are willing to pay and how much money they have. Here we have more apartment complex. You can see it in the horizon here. So all these are apartments in District 7. Now that tell me then when you can lower the price with 600-700 million dong, then you have a little overpriced apartments. So yeah, is it a good time to buy an apartment in Ho Chi Minh? I wouldn't say it is a bad time, because when the market is like it is now, where most people cannot afford to buy. If you look at the Vietnamese average income in Ho Chi Minh, the average income, and this is from the news, so this is not, I didn't do any research, this is basically from the news. So according to the news, the average income for the Vietnamese worker is 11 million dong a month. Now if you have a man and a wife, they will then have 22 million dong. Today with the currency, about $1,000 is about 23 million dong. So it's just under $1,000. That means they cannot rent an apartment for $1,000, and it's very hard to buy an apartment that will cost you like 4 billion. So they need to look at cheaper options, and according to this news, it would take 19 to 24 years for them to save up money to be able to buy apartment between 2.5 billion dong to 3.5 billion dong, I think it was. So if you think about it, you need to save 19 to 24 years, and then you cannot spend money on other things like iPhone, motorbike, car and stuff like that, and go holiday or whatever. So you have to work your ass off and live very, very cheap for 19 to 24 years time before you actually can afford to buy an apartment. So many people now struggle to sell the apartments. That means they now rent them out. And you will have apartments you can rent for everything from about $280, $300 to $1,000 or over $1,000. Depends on the quality of the building. If the apartment have furniture or not furniture, it depends if it is in District 1, District 2, District 7, District 4, District 3 and so on. But yeah, there are a variety of things you need to check when you come to Ho Chi Minh, like where do we want to live? Do you have kids? Do you need to stay in the area District 2, District 7 with the international schools? If you don't have any kids, you can stay in District 1, you can stay in District 3, you can stay in District 4. But the thing with District 4 and these things is it takes longer to get to the schools, and on days now it's holidays, so it's pretty quiet on the street, as you can see. But on normal days, when everybody go to work, everybody go to school, from District 4 and other places, it would take a little time to get to District 7 because of all the traffic. It's not that far in kilometers, but the traffic and the traffic jam is the time break here, because you need to go over the bridges, and there will be a traffic jam there. So the best places I think to live with children in Ho Chi Minh is District 2 that have all the schools, and also District 7. So now you know basically the reason why I'm in District 7. We have a child, and before I actually lived in another district, so and that was no problem when we didn't have a child. So but now with a child, it is better out here, and there are apartments everywhere. You can see down here a little far. I can try to zoom it in. There is another apartment building. They are everywhere. And you need, like, either you need to know somebody there to get in there, or you need to call a real estate agent and want to look at apartments to be able to get in, because there are security, there are gates. You cannot just wander into apartment complexes here. You need a real estate agent with you to show you, or you need to actually know somebody quite well. So if not, you don't get in. So I'm in the process of selling my house, and if I get that sold, and then I will look about to see if I can buy an apartment here, because renting is giving money to others. I am not a fan of just giving money to others, so I would prefer to buy an apartment here. Because they have the schools, and even here in District 7 things are very up and down. Phu My Hung is more expensive because it's close to schools, close to shopping malls, everything there. If you live a little outside, it's cheaper. So you get different prices here and there, and yeah, some buildings have different build quality as well, so that will also affect the prices a little when you buy. But right now there are too many luxury apartments for sale in Ho Chi Minh, and there are not enough people to buy them. Not enough people have money to buy them. So with that said, you can actually negotiate the prices down. And I believe when the market is like that, you can get a good deal. You can do a good buy. So yeah, I that's my thinking after reading the news. And yeah, this is a little what I actually want this channel to be. I read the Vietnamese news, and I will walk around a little, show you a little about apartments, streets, a little how Vietnam is. And like I said, it's a little about the news, stories from Vietnam news and how it actually work here, and it's quite okay. So I saw some on YouTube. Honestly, I don't remember the channel or the names, but they said they've been around in Asia, Southeast Asia, and they say Vietnam was the country where people were talking the least English, so they had problems getting around. I've been traveling around too. I've been to Indonesia, been to Malaysia, been to Thailand, been in Vietnam, been in Japan. So yeah, I've been around a little in Asia as well. What I know is that most people in Vietnam, they actually learn English in school. They use Google Translate. And most importantly, they actually, well, the people I meet, they try to understand, and they try to talk English, even the taxi drivers and so on. So I don't have any problem with that. And for me, that friendliness and that they try is very very important, and that makes everything more easy. So far, I don't think it's hard to live in Vietnam. Absolutely not. I think they are friendly, and they're trying, and they are very, very what should I say, seeking compromises and try to understand you and try to help you, and that is very good. Sometimes things take a little time, but that is not an issue, not a big problem. Yeah, and that's it. So I think it's actually quite nice, and hopefully you know a little now about buying in Vietnam. You need to look for a while. You need to find the area you want to live in. And you need to look at many apartment buildings, like for instance, many build apartments, and some never get done. That's called a project. So if you want to invest in a project, that is a little risky. You get them cheap, much cheaper, because the building is in the process. But sometimes they run out of money. They invest in something else. Some even steal the money, you never know. And what happened is that the project come to a complete stop, and people that invested, they lose their money. So the project is a little risky. And then some apartments are done, but they don't have papers. You don't buy any apartment unless it has papers. So you need I'm looking for an apartment building that is actually done. It's up, everybody live there. I buy from somebody else, and I look for an apartment that have the papers. And the other thing that is very important is the management of like here we have several buildings, so you have a management that will maintain the garden, the swimming pool, the cleaning, the security, and so on. So the managers and how they do, you need a good management where you buy. That's quite important, and a good security. And I think you need to look at that. You need to read about it, comments on Google. You need to look at reviews, and you need to basically find out everything you can before you buy anything. I think those things are very important. There are buildings that are not being maintained because the management is poor. Quite new, I've seen, only 4 or 5 years old buildings, and they look like they are 15 years old because they do not maintain them. They do not paint, they do not fix, they do not take care of it. And of course, if you buy and invest in something like that, you will lose your money. So you need to think of many things if you want to buy. Renting is more easy. You rent, you have your period, and it's done. You can move on to another place if you're not happy. So many choose to rent, and not everybody is set on living here like on a permanent basis like I do. But if you are looking at a permanent basis, you should consider very carefully where can you live. I have many friends, they build houses in Thailand, up in the jungle. And I ask them, do you see yourself living there for the next like 10 years, 12, 20 years? And they say, hell no, I need to go to a city. And then I say, why the hell did you build a bloody house in the jungle if you want to live in the city? That's a waste of money, isn't it? Yeah. So you need to understand, if you move to Southeast Asia, where can you live? You need to find that out first. Are you a person that needs to do something, not sit in a bar, where you can actually have a hobby, you can do YouTube, you can go on motorbikes, you can do whatever you want, drive cars, bowling, whatever you want. There is all the options so that you find in a city. If you go to the jungle, there isn't much to do, and many I've seen, they sit on the bar and drink every day, and after 2-3 years, you know what, the money they brought from Europe, America, they are spent on what? Bar bills. So then after 3 years, 4 years, they are poor, broke, and they have to go home. Even some I've seen are so broke they can't even afford an air ticket home. So you need to think carefully before you move to Southeast Asia. Furthermore, you need to think about insurance. And when you find out all these things, then you can look at what area. Like for me, I needed to stay in Ho Chi Minh. Then I need to look at the area in Ho Chi Minh I want to stay in. So we landed on District 7 because they have many schools here. They have what we need, and it's a nice area. So we landed on District 7. Other people will, because of job or etc., land on District 2, District 4, District 3, and so on. And we are going to look at other districts later. We will come to that. So yeah, but I hope you got a little information today. It is 2 ways to be an expat in Southeast Asia. You can either buy something and live there, or you can rent. And I think you need, everybody is different. Everybody have a different economical situation. Everybody have different plans and so on. So that is up to each and every one. But if you want to buy, know that in Ho Chi Minh right now, the banks are after many people because they do have a little too much loan. The interest go up, and they cannot handle the loan. So they will be able, they will not be able, they have to sell for a much lower price. Many, not everyone, but many. So you need to know that fact. The other thing is renting. You need to understand you can rent quite cheap. Not everything needs to be $1,000 a month. You get quite nice apartments for around $300, $400, $500 a month. Also under the label luxury apartments. So you do get that for that price as well. So yeah, that's it for me today. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but it is, like I said, it depends on the area you stay in. It depends on the build quality, facilities, and so on, just like in any city in the world. So if you go to Paris and you want to live in the best district, best neighborhood in Paris, it's gonna be extremely expensive there as well, just as here in Ho Chi Minh. Same in Bangkok, same in Los Angeles, So, and same in London. So it actually doesn't differ that much. It's just something that you need to know about and think about. That's all. You need to do a little research basically before you settle in Vietnam or another Southeast Asian country. So, but most people by far is renting. I would say, you look at this complex, I would say 80% in these buildings. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's another back, so 8, 9 buildings here. I would say 80% is renting, and 20% they actually bought and own it and live there. Most people rent. So there are people moving in and out a lot, and that's just how it is. So there will always be something for rent, and there will always be something for sale. And as you see, the streets today are quite calm, not very busy, because it is the holidays. Tomorrow is Labor Day or Independence Day in Vietnam, so many people have left Ho Chi Minh and gone to where they come from. So people go home to their families in Can Tho, in Da Nang, in all over Vietnam basically. So they go around and go home, and that's why it's so little people and little traffic in Ho Chi Minh now. And that will last for, I don't know, 3-4 days or so before I'm back. So now we're enjoying a quiet time in Ho Chi Minh City. And it's nice for the people to get home to their families that come to Ho Chi Minh and work. They work their asses off, they go to school and study like hell. And when it's holidays, they can finally get home and be with the family. So it's actually a very nice and good thing for everyone. So I hope you find this video a little interesting and informative, and we will continue with more videos, more updates and stories from the news, and combine that as we show Vietnam as it is, not the tourist areas, because everybody else go to the tourist traps. I'm not very into that. I think it's much better to show this is Vietnam. This is how people live. This is where people live. This is how they do. This is everyday life in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. So please subscribe to my channel. Please like my videos, and there will be more videos. Simple as that. There will be more videos. So this is on the other side of Crescent Mall in District 7, and here are schools very close by. And this area in District 7 is a little more expensive than other areas that is about 5-10 minutes away with a taxi. Then you get it cheaper. So everything is up and down here, and you get prices and everything as to how close you want to live to everything. And that too is basically the same all over the world. If you live in the close to everything in the city center, or close to malls and shops where everything is, in LA, it's going to be more expensive than if you live 10 minutes down the road. So it's the same here, nothing different. By saying that, I will say goodbye for today. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and please subscribe and like. That's it for today. Goodbye everyone. See you next time.